How's it going, everybody? Make sure we got our thing live. Yep, we're live. Alright, so, okay. Today we're probably going to stream a little bit longer on the first part. I got quite a bit of time, so, after I got off last night, I was able to find out what exactly was causing the error we were dealing with for the UdpSocket. So if we go out to the test here, or not the test, it was the server function. Yeah, so we commented this out, which was just rebinding to the port, rebinding to a port, random port to generate the transfer ID for the server. And it turns out that it worked. Except for one thing. We ran into some errors. And I'll show you just what I mean. Under fit. No, it doesn't have it. Okay. 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 Actually, let me remove test directory. Okay. I gave it the wrong name. It's client write transfer. Okay, so there we get right here is during the conversion of a packet into its structure form, for whatever reason, the slice that we get is empty. I'm not entirely sure why, but we can see here that it's not behaving like we expect it to. For one, the buffers that we create for the reception of these packets have a bunch of zeros appended to it, and so it's probably making it bug out, because here we get from the second index all the way to the end of the slice. Well, it doesn't go into this branch specifically. It's just this part. It matches against an empty slice for some reason. But also, this transfer should go exactly like this. The client should send a request. The server will see if it has options appended. If not, it'll send. And since it's a write request, it'll send an acknowledgement to the client. And then the client will read in however or whatever block size we set, which is 512. So 512 bytes from the file. It'll send it'll send that data packet, but because it's less than the block size, then that's literally the only packet that it sends. The server should see that. It should write to the file, and then it should terminate. But that doesn't happen, actually. And for some reason, they send multiple packets. So, it has nothing to do with our conversion, because our conversion works. It's the buffer that we may need to fix, and also the behavior of reading and writing to a file. So we gotta experiment with that and see exactly what it does, because it's not behaving like I expected it to. In my head right now, though, I'm sort of thinking, because if we want to change the buffer size, what's gonna happen is we do have to truncate it. Because let's see. So for act packet, which is this, it will literally get the block number, or this is the, yeah, never mind. Yeah, it'll get the block number, it'll read it, no data, so we're not worried about the act packet. Data packet, however, let's just look for a packet beginning with 3. Should be like this one or something. It's the request. See, this is another thing too that appends all these zeros to the request. Data packet, block number 1, and then there's no data. Which is the confusing part. Yeah. There's no data. So we're determining how it'll stop the incorrect way, but also there's a lot of things we gotta fix. So I already made a list, and this was at the end of my programming session yesterday after I streamed. So we gotta check the behavior of file reading and writing. We do have to fix the issue whenever we're rebinding to change the port. I thought at first, just at a quick glance, that I would need to do further testing on the conversion functions, and I might, but that's not entirely necessary in my opinion, because the conversion is by specification, right? So like when we send a UDP packet, we're not actually handling the transport level headers, checksum, all that. Rust is abstracting that layer. All we're handling is the data inside. So what we're gonna have to do is change the buffer size, find something that'll work, and then of course test the file read and write. And then on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and write this down actually. Functions like read packet send response should be in session structure implementation. And currently I have it in the packet implementation, but the packet really only serves to hold the packet data. There should be no implementations that it uses. It'll be up to the session, because for example, if we go to the structure, so these implementations, right? Read packet, return response, file contents, read. It's handling options that are not proprietary to it, so it should not be in that structure implementation. Validate and configure options, same thing. So that's, I wouldn't say that's an optimization. That is a correction that we're gonna have to make. But for now, let's troubleshoot the stuff that we already got. Okay, so first, let's deal with files. We need to make a test to see whether we actually understand how file input output works in Rust. I mean, I can also just look at the Rust book, maybe. Okay, the book doesn't really specify. And then we also went to, because I checked also to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding the implementations. Use the entire contents of a file into a bytes vector. Writes a slice is the entire contents of a file, right? So, okay, that's one misunderstanding we have. Yeah, there's several things I believe that we misunderstood. But regardless, just to further our understanding, let's do some experimenting. Okay, so file. Open. Read. Give it this. It should work since it's in the top level already. Make it mutable. Oh, yeah, no, we deeply misunderstood, actually. Yeah, because this is returning a vector. File handle, file. This is the file type. Yeah. Yep. Or apparently not, because we did it with open options, maybe. So return a file. Okay, that's interesting. Because this function here takes a buffer. Just out of curiosity. Interesting. Okay. So implements that function because of the read trait. Okay. Let's see. It's okay. Non-zero value. Data from source. If n is 0, then it can take one of the. It's reached its end of file. Will likely no longer be able to produce bytes on the main. She's gone. Okay, interesting, actually. Because it will return 0. So we're not testing for that. Yeah. And because we're not testing for that, it's probably just repeating. And I'm not even sure why it bugs out the way it did. So, interesting stuff. But I believe it's implied that this implies that it reads up to a certain amount of bytes, up until the buffer is full, and then it stays at that point and continues until it reaches the end of the file. So however, it's only implying it, it's not saying it explicitly. So, to be honest, I feel like we should test it. Yeah. It's an unstable feature. Thought it was, I just didn't know for sure. this will return bytes read. Okay, now let's see if we're correct. Oh, it's compiling for Windows. Dang it. There we go. Let's do assert equals. So it tells us what exactly is different. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Let's try giving it the absolute directory. Still empty. I mean, it's not unwrapping on an error. So it's in that top level directory. So I'm confused. Because it's doing the same thing in our program currently. Just not sure why. Buffer specified with 0 bytes and linked. Ah, that's why. And that might actually be why we're not pulling any data. So let's just do sure. So this time it did pull the data, with a bunch of null bytes. Okay. So that at least is behaving how we expect it to. Except now, Let me see exactly how many bytes it says it read. Should just be 3. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it's still behaving the way we think it does. So we need to go into the main loops, because that's where we actually write to the file and stuff. Buffer will be, contents will be block sized. Okay. At the end, we write bytes written. Okay, so a couple things. We are, I believe we're supposed to be writing on each iteration of the loop, clearing the file contents buffer, yeah, so that's one thing we're doing wrong, is that the file contents serve to hold whatever block of data the sender sends. It should be written to that file each time. Because we've already tested these, and it does what we expect it to. So, also, again, this should not be in the packet implementation, should be a session, and that's bothering me too. So, but you gotta stay focused. Okay. All right. So. This should be here after each time. Okay. Clear the file contents. And do that each time. And that's kind of I feel like that should be separate. Like, well, I don't know, because the entire purpose of read packet return response is to return a response, and it's also writing to the file at the same time. May not be as big of an issue as I'm making it to be, but overall, I think got quite a bit of a mess. So here we're reading constants of the file, sending a response, clear, that, and the same thing here, backup heights, receive, send the response. That's not clear. Oh, here's another issue too, actually. Right here, this will be the only time this executes, because it's just going to read null bytes from there, or it's not going to read anything actually. So here, our condition should be there. Otherwise, yeah, because then otherwise we continue to read from the file, clear it back up, clear the buffer. Yeah, okay. Server read loop. I believe this should be a write loop because it's reading from the file, not writing to it. Pretty sure last night we got it mixed up. Let's go mock main. Okay. Client reading, client writing, that's straightforward. If the client decided to read, then we are doing a write loop. If the client decided to write, then we are reading. So that's, yeah, that's correct. I was all mixed up last night. That's, yeah. That's probably, could be just a small mix up, to be honest. Why it's not working. Read packet, send the response. File content's not clear. Put the conditional up there. Put this up here. interesting. Because this is always going to be reading from there. So, maybe this conditional just needs to be outside of that. So it also needs to be on the bottom too. Okay. Because each time we send something, any code following this expression is unreachable. Think of something different then, because we do need to send the response first. first of all, let's redo all that. Not sure why it's saying this code is unreachable. Oh. Because we, yeah, took out that expression. Okay, honestly, if we just do this. Where does this move to? Oh, that's right, we only need that. Ah, this is so annoying. It'd probably be best if we, it would be better if we keep it in here, but we gotta do something with that. If we do this, set it to the initial response, move it in there, and then we do that, then we move it in there. Oh no, it'll still move it in there too. What do we do down here though? Actually, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so you may just need to have a condition at the top and bottom. I mean, that's, yeah. Well, no, because it'll still read from that. Oh, that actually works. Okay, yeah, so we go through the initial thing here. Backup packet, test. Okay, yeah, let's do that then. Is that the right loop or the reloop? That was the right loop. Do the reloop now. Wait, we don't even have a conditional here. What? Oh no, we do. We do. That will always refer to. So let's go ahead and break that out. interesting. We should be sending, if we are reading, should be sending the final ACK, which I guess I never implemented. So we need to change this first. So here we would be receiving the data packet, sending a packet here. Oh, well, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Then we'll just do this right here. Backup bytes. Try into packet. And we don't need that. We need this. Okay. Okay. Takes care of client read and write, and for server read and write. Oh yeah, we gotta do the same thing here. Sure that all of our functions do that. And if all this works, I'm probably just going to copy and paste into my actual functions because this is way too much to keep up with. I'm probably going to mess up something. So that's correct. Client rate, that's correct. Client read. Yep. Do the same here. There we go. Okay. We don't need peer address anymore. Okay. Now we can try testing it again. Let's do one more thing just to make sure. Oh, I deleted that test. Okay. Need to make triple sure that I'm able to, that it's still working how I expect it to. first read should be ABC, and the next one should be DEF, hopefully. So we're going to assert cool for string from UTF-8 lossy for owned and ABC to string. And then read again. See what happens if we just read to the buffer. And then the last one will be string from UTF-8. This will be DEF to string. Okay, let's see if that does what we expect it to. We can't even open the file. Interesting. Oh, it didn't append it, that's why. Can we append? Let's just do that. Forgot that it overwrites it. Okay, so it has what we expected. Now, why is it? Weird. We shouldn't be lacking read permissions. Should be reading 3 bytes. It's 3 bytes long. So why is it failing? writing to it. Should be able to read from it. Still, why didn't I read to it? Well, we already wrote to it, so let's just read from it, I guess. Could have something to do with the fact that when it's, at least in C, when you write to a file, it sort of like indexes where it's at in the file. So that could be what's going on lower level. And so when you call read, it's going to give null bytes since it's already at the end of the file. So you would have to rewind it. Isn't there a rewind? There is a rewind. Okay, yeah. Okay. That should work. Okay, so it does work like we're expecting to then. Gotcha. Okay, good. Good. I guess we can go ahead and test. Failed. Oh, oops. So we're getting the same error. And we're also getting an empty packet at the end. Server should send an add packet. Let me check and see if the block number should be 0. Okay, back packet should be 0. data. So why is there no data? Also the ACK packet. Yeah, the ACK packet should be echoing the block number, not incrementing. So we gotta fix that. Passing the right thing. This probably has to do with our buffer, to be honest. Okay, I think I know what might be the issue. So A, file contents. This is this is going to read all the null bytes. That's one problem. Okay, so let's go over here. Also, packet should mirror it has something to do with the file contents being read here. Because if we're let's see what happens if we receive a data packet. So fix that. And then this is taking the data from the data packet, except when we receive an ACK packet, make the data packet file contents. A will never be the actual length of the data sent, so we should probably read it in a buffered manner. We gotta change that. And then also yeah, like it's never gonna terminate. Let's write a comment here for when you come back. So yeah, we need to parse the data here in a logical manner. So probably just read up until it's null. Yeah. Okay, I think we have a good idea of what we need to fix. We fixed the ACK packet issue, simple fix. Okay. Alright, I think that's gonna be it for now. Yeah, I might stream later as well, just depends. But for now I'm gonna go eat lunch. I'm gonna actually go enjoy a new coffee I got. If anybody who likes coffee out there, pour overs are excellent. I use a V6, super into coffee. I got a Bolchesa Natural from Onyx Coffee, and it's been resting just long enough to where it's super fresh. So yeah, I might stream later, I might not, I'm not sure, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Honestly, we're trucking through it pretty well. I was stuck yesterday, but now that we have several leads on what's going on and we already fixed a couple things, we should be getting close to finishing this. So yeah, and then my goal with this project right now is to finish it, make a release, and then later on I can refactor this code and add some features in future releases. But I'm not gonna be. This isn't gonna be my main priority. I've already worked on this for a really long time. So yeah.